Dan Moskal here, and we're talking about how to write a book, and specifically the outline. In this right here, we're going to create the table of contents. And in case this is the first video, you're catching this part of a video series as a bonus for my 8th book, How to Write a Book, The System. So what we want to do is grab the swipe file. We did this in the earlier steps. We have this big chunk or pieces of paper with all the central information. What we want to do is start weeding through that and clumping it together and categorizing, because let me go ahead and just show you. I don't know if you can see this, but I've got it literally written out. I took my swipe file and then I break it down, and these are going to be chapters. It doesn't have to be perfect, nor should it be, because the whole book will evolve over time, but you do want to start at least with a blueprint and some idea of how you proceed to go forward, because as I've said here, we want to make this as easy as possible. Right here we're listing out the chapters, and this is just a rough draft of the chapters in the table of contents. We can always rearrange it later. But what we're going to do when we actually write the words, we're going to take just one topic, one subject, one thing, and then break it down even further. I like to do it literally paper and pen on a piece, and then go to the computer, and you can dictate it, you can type it. I end up doing both. We'll talk about more, go into detail here coming up. And let me go ahead and share what we're really doing as well with this is starting to get an idea of how exactly we want to structure and sequence our story. What are the topics and subjects? And let me go ahead and just share as an example for the book that I'm writing here, and I'm going to take you through all these steps, including the publishing process, including even some of the marketing stuff in more detail. But we're talking about book marketing for my 10th book here. And I'm going to start it by telling the story about the richest city in the world, Dubai. And I want to illustrate a few things, but they've done an incredible job selling their city to the world. They have people flocking to them from all over the world, and these are the wealthiest people. They come to them to give them their gold. This is one of the things, and just like Dubai had to do multiple buildings, your book is just one piece of your grand, architecture, whatever it may be. If you have a small business or you're anything like me, there's a lot of pieces involved, and it's much more than what people can see from the outside. The building didn't just come to be. So just a couple of the topics and chapters that I'm include, the richest city of gold. We're going to start there. Then we're going to talk about, I think we're going to start with some of the just fundamentals, basics of selling. And that's one thing we may rearrange later. Then we're going to talk about some YouTube videos. We're going to talk about email marketing. We're going to talk about SEO. We're going to talk about publishing it on the audiobook, the listing page, positioning it, and maybe that'll be the better place to talk about some of the selling. Kindle promotions, paid advertising, being omnipresent, giving things away, or salesman, maybe versus salesman. And this is another place where you start to get some ideas for some good, compelling chapter titles as well, because we're going to go through all this stuff and we're going to look at it a few more times, but we have to just do it. Don't try and be perfect. Perfection is like the ultimate shiny button, no matter what you're doing. Be it building the best city in the world or writing a book. Perfection is merely an illusion, I promise. But we have this broken down into 12 topics and subjects, the last being direct response and copywriting, and it'll probably end up being about 14. Which you want to do before you start writing, take your table of contents here, go look at your timeline, and just make sure that it's reasonable. And really the way to break this down even further is if you're giving yourself 90 days and you have 10 chapters that you have to write, just do the math. That's one chapter, every 9 days? Or did I get that backwards? But either way, it's you break it down literally into the smallest bite-sized steps. And it's awesome if you knock these things off early, celebrate that, but also keep getting busy and get better and get more efficient all the time. So please check out the next video here. Coming up, we're going to be talking about some of the writing blocks and how to overcome these. Again, this is the bonus video with some other ones here. for my 8th book, How to Write a Book, The System. We've also written our 9th book here, and we're going to be showing you the exact process into how we go about writing our 10th book here, which will include references to our friend Ahmad. Really an awesome guy. Please check out his story. He was born in Iraq, came up and achieved success, built 2 businesses by building an Iraqi restaurant, restaurant, but has done this, gave a TED Talk. Like, the guy's done incredible. I mean, he's got an awesome story, and I barely know anything about him. So check him out if you're at all curious, and please subscribe. Please like this video. Please check out the link in the description below to an article at our website. Check out our books, and looking forward to talking to you again soon.